How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. We just got a big leak that has been pumping the market. If you look here, Bitcoin with another massive green day going from at the bottom about 57.6 all the way up past 60,000. Let's talk about why this is, what just came out. There is someone that is potentially getting fired for selling crypto recently as well, which is interesting. If you don't mind, hit the subscribe button. That way you can see future videos just like this one. Hit the like button too if you like this kind of content, so that way the algorithm knows to show you it more often. Also, if you want to trade crypto, use the link underneath the video to Margex. They're doing a big giveaway right now where you can get free Caspa tokens, thousands and thousands of dollars, and go over to my Twitter because we're giving away some free crypto because the market is looking good. You can get entered to win by retweeting my tweet. Now, the market is looking really good right now. I mean, Bitcoin's moving up. I know it's like after we've fallen down a lot and then you just have a little wick up like that meme where people get so excited. But the fact is, this does look bullish, especially if we can break this previous top right around 65,000. Like if we can continue moving up here, this could be a very nice reversal pattern where we get a higher low and a higher high. Even if we have a pullback after that, I'm quite bullish. I like this look, and right now the markets are doing pretty well. The Nasdaq's down only 5% from its all-time high. Gold is at 2,580, a new all-time high, as the dollar craters on expectations of a panic 50 basis point cut. There's a bit of a leak there, and as interest on U.S. debt crosses $1 trillion. Let's actually look at the DXY right now, live. I didn't even check this beforehand, but okay, it's sitting around 101, which has been pretty much where it's been over the last week or two. But it will be interesting to see, will it fall down below 100? That would signal a bull run. You can see whenever we've had the DXY start to fall down, that's been the start of a massive bull run. 2017, 2020, hopefully now as well. Now, what are they talking about with this 50 basis point panic cut? Well, apparently there has been a bit of a leak. Nick T, who is one of the economists that goes and asks Jerome Powell questions during the Fed meetings, he laid out this article talking about how because of the market situation, it looks like we might be more likely to see a 50 basis point cut from the Fed. So it's just an economist saying that it might make sense. They're worried, they're nervous about keeping interest rates too high for too long amid mounting evidence that higher rates were cooling the economy as intended. They also want to nail this soft landing. They don't want a jobs recession. So he thinks they might even go 50 basis points. Now, the reason this is important is Nick T is not just your average economist. He's actually nailed the last 2 years of rate cuts and rate hikes, even to the point where there's been consensus where the market said that we were going to see something from the Fed. He went against it. A day before, he said, no, I think we're going to get something a little bit different. And then the Fed actually did what he said instead of what the market was intending. So some people think that he's a bit of a Fed whisperer. Maybe he knows information that the rest of us don't. Maybe he has someone inside at the Fed. Maybe they are trying to soften the market so the market doesn't get panicked or overexcited either at a 50 basis point cut. Instead, it starts pricing in ahead of time. And if it goes too far, the Fed can do whatever they think is best at the time, right? They could say to Nick, hey, we think we're going to cut 50 basis points, but then the market rallies so much that they get worried that will be a little bit inflationary, or that the market, or they need to maybe talk a little bit differently at the Fed meeting. And then they can do that if need be, but they can see how it goes with Nick kind of breaking the news. Now, maybe he's wrong. Maybe, he says that it's hard for them to choose between a 25 or 50 basis point cut, but he kind of leaned towards a 50 basis point cut, it sounded like, in the article. Maybe it's just 25. Maybe this is all hogwash and the market's rallying a little bit more than it should. But then you would think that there's more of a chance that they'll lower by maybe 50 basis points at the next meeting or something like that. Right now, it's almost 50-50 whether they cut by 25 basis points or 50 basis points. Compared to last week where it was about 3/4 likelihood that we're going to see just a 25 basis point cut. So it'll be interesting to see. Let me know your thoughts on that underneath the video. Let me know if you think we're going to get 50 or 25, or even if you care, let me know. Something that's interesting too is apparently as Bitcoin approaches 60,000, Jane Street is holding an emergency meeting of top management to discuss the potential firing of the entire Bitcoin trading desks, according to some sources. I'm not sure if Mike is kidding here or not, but Jane Street has been selling a lot of crypto. And I think this happens with a lot of entities that sell crypto. We saw this with the German government. We've seen it before where, like, as a large entity, you can push down the price of Bitcoin. You can push down the price of individual altcoins as well, to the point where it does affect the whole market. And you can do that. You can do that for maybe a couple weeks, maybe if you have like billions of dollars. But after that, a lot of the selling pressure eases off, and then we see a rebound. And then oftentimes the people that are selling all that crypto are actually lower than if they had just like sold it over time instead of just dumping it, right? They just force the price down. And I would not be surprised if when this happens, if sometimes people do get fired, because it looks bad as soon as you sell, let's say at 53,000, when the price goes up to 60, when you're selling so much as well. Luke Broyles makes a good point. We covered Michael Saylor earlier today. He bought another 18.3 thousand coins. Considering there are 330 million companies in the world, only 21 million Bitcoin, and assuming companies get 10 million of those 21 million Bitcoin, that's about 0.03 Bitcoin per company. Saylor just bought 8.16 million times more Bitcoin than required. Do you get it? Another way of thinking about this is the S&P 500, they are some of the largest companies in the world, obviously, and most successful. If they get, 5 million Bitcoin, that means that they can only get, 10,000 Bitcoin each? Michael Saylor already has 25 of those companies covered. Right? He has 250,000 Bitcoin, just about. So yeah, just crazy. And I don't think that, the companies are going to be able to actually buy 10 million. Well, I suppose if you include crypto companies and exchanges in there and that kind of thing, maybe, they can get their hands on 10 million. Just crazy the amount of scarcity that's out there in the Bitcoin world, and people just don't get it. Some people don't get it. Some people don't want to understand. Some people say, hey, my business is good enough. I have real estate or I have stocks. I already have 5 million, 10 million, 20 million. I'm good. Right? I can just coast. I don't need to think about something else. And that's fair, but they might be regretting it one day. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Again, if you want to trade crypto, there's that link to Margex underneath the video. There could be volatility as well, right? Depending on the Fed and how they speak to the market, and also just global tensions. Who knows what happens over the weekend? But let me know what you think about the rate cut down below. Thanks so much. I'll see you all in the next video.